our shitty income.
Welcome to the Undrafted Uncensored cast of pod. Hosted by Nick Archuleta. Mosted by Colin Zanker. And last but certainly is least, Joseph Goodwin.
Welcome everyone to the Undrafted Uncensored, a little Friday morning special. Don't worry about the eggs; they're supposed to be that color.
I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am.
Do you? My favorite terrible pickup line. So, how do you like your eggs in the morning? Scrambled, over easy, fertilized.
That's honestly, you don't need anything else. All you need is
this was the Undrafted Uncensored, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yeah, thanks for never watching us again.
Oh man.
Oh man, you're killing me.
I love that. I totally want to try that though. Just the first part. Just how do you want your eggs in the morning?
Yeah. Well, see, it was great, especially when I was making omelets for people in front of them in the mornings.
Yeah.
Like the groups that were hungover the morning after New Year's Day. That was always the best because I could get away with it. It just have my grin on my face every time I'm said. I'm like, I just prep it. I'm like, hey, do you want to know a really terrible pickup line? And I would get a lot of laughs, and I would get tips. Just the tip, but I would make tips.
Hey, you know what? That's enough.
And then you wonder why you had to move hotels.
That was it wasn't a had to move. It wasn't on my part of having to move. Hey, check those compliments at the Embassy Suites downtown. I'll tell you what, they've gone downhill since I've left.
Colin's that guy at the company that keeps getting sexual assault allegations. They just kind of have to keep shuffling to different departments.
No. I don't have to. I usually don't have to repeat myself. A slap in the face usually suffices, and then I'm done. I'm like, okay, won't do that one again.
All right, well, big news again. Gerard Mayo takes over for the New England Patriots as head coach. Don't know if
Gerard, don't hold the Mayo.
So apparently, I have heard it was written into his contract that when Belichick was gone, Mayo takes over.
Word, okay.
How bad does Josh McDaniels feel right now?
Oh, he ruined this entire thing.
Now
it's all his fault.
It was in his contract too.
Oh,
I bet you it was, and he just thought Belichick was never going to go anywhere because he had his year of oh my God, why am I blanking on the quarterback's name? Not Zappy, Mac Jones. He was there for one. He was there for 1 year with Mac Jones. I want to say McDaniels was.
Yep.
Then he went and took the Vegas job because he probably just thought Bill was never going to retire. I mean, they made the playoffs with Mac Jones in his first year.
Remember the only
so he's like, oh,
Mac
Belichick's
Jones
just going to stick around forever again.
Like I said, Monday he was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, dude. He ruined the whole thing because you know that was in his contract because he turned down the Colts job. Like, you don't turn down a head coaching job unless you have a guaranteed better head coaching job. And, like, there's no way that he knew the Raiders was going to happen. And there's no way that he thought the Raiders were going to be that much better anyway. Like, that all just kind of came out of nowhere because he's the, golden child of Bill Belichick. But he's always been terrible as a head coach. Like, when he turned down that Colts job, we knew he had some shit going on with them. And, he just thought Bill wasn't going to retire, and he was tired of playing second fiddle, whatever. But, I mean, honestly, it's a good thing for the Patriots because now they don't have to deal with Josh McDaniels' purgatory, which makes me a little sad because I wanted to watch them go through Josh McDaniels' purgatory. But you know what? If you give me a choice between putting the Raiders through that or the Patriots, I'm still going to say fuck the Raiders.
Every day.
So it still worked out. It's really funny that we also now get to laugh at Josh McDaniels, who's still never been a good coach and ruined another franchise getting rid of all their best players again, which even John Gruden tried to do with Khalil Mack. Like, imagine if they didn't hire John Gruden and then fired him for McDaniels, how like good that team would be with Devontae Adams and Derek Carr and Josh Jacobs and Khalil Mack.
Yeah. It's
but you know what?
I love it. I love when the Raiders just Raider things up.
I hope Gerard Mayo makes it work, with a real GM and like not cheating and just actual. So maybe I can respect the Patriots again.
Well, on other hiring news too, just coming through is general manager for the Commanders, assistant GM Adam Peters, who won Super Bowls while working with New England and Denver. He's been in San Francisco since 2017. He was the assistant GM. He is now the GM of the Commanders. So that's some good pedigree there.
Yeah, I mean, Belichick moved down the coast now.
No, Belichick's
no. They're taking the enemy. I think
down the coast. I think he's switching coast.
Yeah, I think he goes Chargers.
They're saying Atlanta.
Atlanta's is not quite the coast.
No, I'm hearing Atlanta.
Doesn't that sound like Belichick though? Like, I want to go to the place that doesn't have a quarterback, and we're just going to win with these really talented running backs and go back to old school football and try to prove a point.
And the number 6 overall pick.
Yeah, like
quarterback.
I can do what Arthur Smith. Coffee. I can do what Arthur Smith tried to do, but better with these same players and one more draft pick. I could say that, but my bet's still San Diego.
So
we're home with the Chargers.
While we're talking this coaching carousel, let me ask you guys a question. And Colin, I apologize. I know you're taking your break at work, and I'm trying not to fire you up too quickly.
Are you gonna get? Don't worry, I'm in an office all alone with a locked door, so I will.
Fired.
I had an offer to do this from the HR back office, and I was like, "Yeah, that'd be no. But let's go. Come on,
okay,
send it. Is this gonna be fucking Russell Wilson and Eli Manning again?
No.
Full send.
Nope. This is gonna be. Well, it might be. So
it's fire Sean Payton, right?
Attack it.
Wait, what?
Should the Broncos have kept Hackett?
No.
One more year.
We established that.
Let's wait. Let's look at the coaches that are available now.
No.
Are we going back to what I said last? Yes.
So you're trying to prove Colin's point.
I slept on it, and I started thinking about it yesterday when I was at work. And I sat there, and for a moment, and this mostly has to do with the Titans being stupid, because I didn't think the Titans were that stupid.
If they were going to keep a guy for a year just because fuck it, honestly, it should have been Jerry Rosberg.
Well, there were rumors. But there were rumors last year too, though, of Vrabel getting fired. That was the whole point. There were rumors of both Vrabel and Ron Rivera getting fired last year, both of whom I prefer over Sean Payton.
Yes, I would too. In a heartbeat, I would take both of them.
Yeah, because you also get a first-round pick.
There's that too, yeah. And so I started thinking about it, and I fell in line with the Broncos blew their load a little too early, because here they are with a prime. Because if they didn't do it last year with Vrabel, I didn't think they were going to do it.
Yeah,
and honestly, that Ron Rivera, I can go either way with. I would rather have him than not, but I started thinking about it, and I mean, that adds to the fact that if, let's say, the Broncos kept Hackett and they gave him his extra year to improve the Broncos.
No.
The Broncos would probably be sitting at 2-16 right now.
And
looking up at the Carolina Panthers going, got Chicago.
Take who you want. I'm telling you, like, I understand that especially the blowout after Christmas.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm out with
that. It was so bad, but it was really a long-term thing, and that's even why I added in the first-year head coach, whoever the hell it was, because if that first year head coach, you don't want to be an organization that continuously fires. I know that's what you said, Joe.
Yeah.
But then you have an opportunity to hire a vested coach who knows that he's not going to be on a 1-year contract. I mean, Sean Payton didn't come in here with all those short-term contracts for the other coaches less than 2 years and say, oh, well, this isn't a job that I can stay at or won't be at for a long time. No, he's a vested coach. And that's why I think the same thing would have applied to a guy like Vrabel. Vrabel's really the one that I wanted. I mean, Rivera would have been my second choice.
Yeah, mine too. And add to it too that rumor has it that Harbaugh was almost here, but they just couldn't get anything settled. So if he's your guy and you end up settling for plan B, which is Peyton, now you're stuck here. But then you see all the coaches starting to flutter about. The butterflies are flying, and now Penner's sitting there going, I could catch that one. I could catch that one. That one. Can I get rid of this one? I mean, Peyton's contract's not going to hit the salary cap at least.
Yeah.
You just go and maybe there's some business. You got to build a new Walmart in Tennessee somewhere. Just go take your private little plane.
Well, let's see on that same note though that we were just talking about. You can't do that to Sean Payton. You can do that to a first-year head coach or a coach who had a really shitty first season. But then it goes back to any other coach you bring in or want to bring in. We'll look at that. Well, they treated Sean Payton like that, who's won a Super Bowl. How are they going to treat me if I don't go better than 8-9?
I'm sure there's a lot more shit that went on behind those closed doors than we know about.
I know, but you can't do that this year with Sean Payton. Because that sets a bad precedent for veteran and established coaches. And if you want to get a guy in here to replace, if the Broncos are going to go the route from here on out of getting veteran head coaches, then you can't just let go of one who's been proven and not give him a fair shot with his quarterback. He came into a pre-made situation, Sean Payton did.
Yeah.
So you're not giving him a fair shake, and that's a bad look on the Broncos. But if you gave it to a first-year head coach and he failed miserably, or you kept Hackett for one more year, that's when you could have made reasoning to any of these other coaches. That was my whole point, is that it would still suck, but the Broncos would have had, you're right, they're pick of the litter. I mean, maybe they win 3 games, 4 games, whatever. They're still in the top 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about it at work yesterday. Again, especially because of the Vrabel thing. Because, I mean, we all said we wanted Vrabel. Yes. Or Ron Rivera. And, after last year, I didn't think the Titans were going to be dumb enough to let him go. And so, just like the Broncos, they settled on Sean Payton. And so I came around, Colin. I came around.
Damn it. All the yelling finally got through. Now Joe's going to get pissed off.
Yeah, no. That's Hackett. As long as it's not Hackett, I'm okay with this. I was always okay with it. It was just not Hackett. Because that's going to split the locker room. That's going to make players demand to get out, and then you're going to have to give them away for pennies on the dollar.
But you don't have the salary cap problem.
You still have salary. You paid Russell Wilson. You have the salary cap problem regardless. The salary cap problem is arguably worse because you have to trade away more guys that have high paychecks because now they want out because they're tired of the moron that you kept around that everybody knew you shouldn't have kept around. If you give Rosberg a shot for a year, you're still figuring shit out. The guy riding the ship, the players like him, fuck it, one more year. Keep your draft picks and move on. And then it probably doesn't work out, and that's okay. He's happy he got the chance. The players are happy that they got to play under him. Didn't work out, whatever. Everyone's happy. But the other way, people are going to be jumping ship left and right. The organization looks terrible. Does Mike Vrabel choose the Broncos at that point? Because if Bill Belichick just retires and doesn't go play for the Chargers, Vrabel's going to LA. He's going to go somewhere with an established quarterback where he can be guaranteed to win, where the Broncos now look like a garbage fire that you're going to be stuck with hopefully Ron Rivera unless he goes, back to the Panthers, which I don't think he would do, or some, other, the Falcons who have at least a higher draft pick and a younger core and not a bunch of people that are pissed off. That's kind of what you risk with a guy like Hackett for a whole nother year, and you just being a complete laughingstock, and Russell Wilson still doing all of his Instagram bullshit because Hackett still wouldn't tell him to stop. And I don't know. I feel like that would do more harm than good.
Well, yeah, but
the draft pick would be dope, though. Maybe you get Drake May, Caleb Williams.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's hard to tell. You can't really tell by what the results would have been this year. But even going along those lines, if you had kept Hackett for one more year and you fired him halfway through the season, it's already a failed season.
Yeah.
What was there were some successes in the season. Okay, sure, fine. But you still had dissension in the locker room.
Can I fire him after game 2?
Even though Alex Singleton said there were no douchebags on defense, I think they got rid of the 2 guys that he was referring to that were douchebags.
Douchebags. It's okay. Nothing wrong with being a douchebag.
You still had stuff going on in the locker room regardless of what happened, like with the coaching change. But what it would have turned into is, yes, right now, I mean, Atlanta, I think, is the belle of the ball. Like, that should really be the prize pick.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the fact that their owner won't pay a high-priced coach. Like, he won't pay a premium for a coach. I think that the Chargers will do that for a certain coach, like for Vrabel or Belichick. But the one thing I worry about in Atlanta is that they kind of see it as it's a pre-made product. You have your pick of quarterbacks, basically. If you want this job, you're going to take what we give you. That's the only problem I can see in Atlanta. Whereas some might say the Chargers are the better job. I don't think Atlanta really is the best job because of you get your quarter. If you're a brand new coach in a new organization, you put your stamp on it by drafting your quarterback with that first pick. You already have an offense that's really good. You had some aging veterans, but the Atlanta defense, I think, is better than they played or better than it was really put out to be.
They didn't really use their offensive weapons like they should either.
Well, that's the whole point. Like, they have their offense is ready made. Yeah. Whereas if you go into Los Angeles for the Chargers, that offense is what it is. I mean, it's still good, but you're losing Austin Eckler. You don't know if Mike Williams or Jalen Guyton are going to be healthy. You have a tight end situation there that they're really good, but they're also injured often. So it's Mike Williams and Justin Herbert, and that's not going to change for the near future.
No.
But in Atlanta, you could really open that offense up and
for sure,
change things.
Which again, that poses the problem. So now those top 2 coaches are gone. So now you're just praying that Bill Belichick wants to coach so that you get the third guy, which is not Vrabel, which is it's going to end up being Ron Rivera or whoever, and which again I would probably still take, but it's going to be tough, man. I don't know.
Well, and that's
how great, especially with the cap of Russell Wilson. You kind of.
But that's where I go. That's where I go back to where the Broncos would have, assuming the Broncos were bad, would have been drafting. That's where I go back to that. They would have had a higher draft pick than Atlanta. Plus, they would have offered more money. I mean, we've already seen that the Walmart is not afraid to spend money. I mean, they're replacing the field for a team that's under 500. For good reason, but they're not afraid to spend money, and they're not afraid to spend money on a coach. And I think that's very attractive to a coaching candidate. Once again, I think it would have been a better pick than the Falcons, that the Broncos would have had a worse year than them this year. I think that was my whole point, was that what were the Broncos working towards this season? Because I didn't believe from the start that they were very good.
Well, I think
they were better than I thought, but I think that's a lot more Sean Payton coaching him up, like I mentioned.
Yeah, I think part of it too was they brought Payton in to right the ship, and so when you bring in a coach that has a winning resume, you expect the team to turn it around like the Broncos did. Yeah. And I'll give credit where credit's due. The Broncos did turn it around. A game shy of being over 500. I know it's not what you wanted, Colin, but
well, I wanted them to win 2 games to get the number 1 pick.
Yeah,
but,
that would have been dope.
But you're bringing in a coach that has a winning mentality.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be settling for 2-15 because he wants a high draft pick. He wants to push these guys to their limits, see where he can take them. Almost took them to the AFC West champion or an AFC West title.
Yeah.
And
with Russell Wilson,
it is what it is. I think he kept his eye enough on the draft board that he's going to find something somewhere. And, this team is probably going to be maybe a 10-win team next year, but it'll be at Peyton's decision.
Oh my goodness. The 20-minute mark, the Broncos will be a 10-win team. I don't think so. I don't. Who's the quarterback of this 10-win team?
Well,
come on, Nick. Come on, Nick. Who is the quarterback of this 10-win team? Granted, Russell Wilson wasn't great, but
he's going to say Bo Nix.
I was like, yeah, if you think Bo Nix is coming in here and winning 10 games, then all right, rookie of the year, hand it to him right now.
Look what CJ Stroud did.
That's true, but he was also the number 2 pick, consensus or possible top number 1 pick in the draft.
Yeah, CJ Stroud.
Bo Nix is not being considered on the same level as a CJ Stroud.
We don't know yet. This is all dependent on who they pick too.
That's true.
Who they end up with. I'm just saying that they have a potential to maybe pick up 2 more wins because 3 of those wins at the beginning of the season last year were so fucking fluky that in all reality, the Broncos should have taken the AFC title or AFC West title this year, but whatever.
I was going to say, was one of those when the Broncos were up like 28-10 or something like that? 7.
Moving on. Who doesn't love NFL playoffs?
Yeah, or when they all they had to do was beat the second worst team.
Speaking of Ron Rivera,
Patriots, my guy Riverboat. So there's one thing that Ron Rivera is known for, and it's riding the ship. That's why they call him Riverboat Ron.
He's kind of like a John Fox type.
Oh, for sure, but way less of an asshole, way more tall.
Way less.
Yeah, he's kind of like that, like that friendly great uncle, that's just hanging out. He's gonna let you do your thing. He's gonna, give you the advice. You're not gonna be great, but you're gonna be better.
Yeah, go ahead, shoot that BB gun and see what happens. that donkey does to you when you hit him with that BB.
I went in. I went and saw the ice sculptures at oh my goodness, what's the hotel?
The Gaylord.
At the Gaylord, yeah, and it was the Christmas Story ice castles. It was pretty damn cool. That's they did a really good job of it, and kind of like in the middle part, they had an ice slide that you could go down. That I almost just said fuck it and went head first, but I figured there were a lot of kids. I kind of didn't want to be a bad example. There were too many kids around. If it was a little slower, you say you don't care, but then some kid follows me down and their parents see it and they get hurt, and then all of a sudden I'm banned from the Gaylord Hotel.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're the bad guy because you started it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So if it was if it was slow and there wasn't there was literally a line the whole way up.
Damn.
I waited 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. It wasn't long.
It would have been fine if you'd have gone. You wanted to go head first. All you had to do was lay down and say, "Kids, I'm Superman!"
Superman, whoa! I could have worn my onesie.
There you go.
Then you could have played the song too.
I want me you,
Superman. Oh, no, it was actually the Christmas Story stuff. There was pretty damn cool.
That's cool. All right, well, we'll go ahead.
I just had that song stuck in my head.
You're welcome.
Soldier Boy.
No. Browns and Texans kick it all off tomorrow in a dome stadium. And then the nightcap will be the Dolphins and the Chefs.
On a dumb station.
It's not smart.
You know that nobody can watch that game. You have to have Peacock to watch the Chiefs game.
I already have Peacock anyway.
Yeah, I get it for free with Comcast, so I'm not.
Yeah.
Also, Stream East. I don't care. My PS4 has a web browser. I'll pull it up on the TV. It's fine.
So
But
they're
you know
saying,
how many people are not going to be able to watch that game? That's a
Oh
lot.
yeah, it's stupid. It's a massive mistake. They're just trying so hard to drive people towards streaming and force people. Like, this is playoff fucking football here. Like,
Yeah.
This should
Chiefs
be like
Dolphins
local
especially. Like, this should be a knockdown, drag out fight on paper. It also could end up being very disappointingly low scoring and everyone just kind of being, debilitated, which would be funny.
Well, I was going to say, you know why it's going to be
Game,
low
and
scoring? It's because it's going to be like negative degrees.
Yeah,
it's
that's
saying
true
it's
too.
gonna be wind chill of -30.
Ooh, the
I
wind.
think I
that's
saw it
gonna,
updated.
if there's going to be wind, that's going to
35
fuck up the
at
Dolphins.
Like, it's been going down every day.
Yeah. Well, that was as of yesterday afternoon when I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, I give Kansas
Yeah,
City the
whatever.
edge if it's a running game, centric, windy, fucking can't pass the ball super well kind of game.
I said I will only accept it if it's like a snowmageddon, like it was in Buffalo a couple years ago, where you see the guy in front of you that you were blocking.
Well, speaking of Buffalo's also supposed to be terrible.
Yeah, they got.
Let me tell you this:
That game's going to be
The
terrible anyway.
the
Like
Buffalo line has gone down to 33.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's supposed to be like literally like road closures and like do
Oh,
not
damn.
travel warnings for people in Buffalo now. So 2 terrible games going on. And then worst of all, this whole damn weekend, the worst thing of it all is that the game on Monday night is Philadelphia and Tampa Bay. Like of all the games to put in your primetime game, you can't put the Lions and the fucking Rams.
That's
Matthew Stafford returning to Detroit as your primetime Monday night standalone game.
Right? We're gonna get a Justin Hurts over a Baker Mayfield.
Jalen Hurts, yeah.
I say?
Just in case he's probably
Justin.
It's all right. I said Nico Stroud the other day, so that's all right.
It's true. Yeah.
I don't know what I was. Where the hell I get Justin?
I mean, it just in. He's still hurt.
Yeah. This just in.
He hadn't thrown a football all week until I don't know if he threw one yesterday, but literally that is the game that is on primetime Monday standalone. Is the Eagles and Tampa Bay? Give me a break. NFL, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, even
Yeah,
like
how would
you
you
put
lose that?
the Steelers
Oh,
and
geez.
you put the Steelers and the Bills on the Peacock only game.
Yeah.
Sure,
Fuck
whatever.
those games.
Who fucking
put the
cares?
Bills and Steelers on Peacock. Move the Dolphins and Chiefs to Sunday, even though it's still gonna be hella cold.
Yeah, but you don't. I mean, you didn't know that when you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Like,
well,
you didn't know that
the
2 weeks
Chiefs to
ago.
be you need the Dolphins and Chiefs to be your anchor on Saturday because you need a big game. You can't throw the Steelers and the Bills out there because that's even though their records are very similar, we all know Buffalo's gonna walk out of there with a dub.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends
Mason
on that
will also
weather.
get like
I mean,
one
if it's
big
that-
long bomb touchdown, but I don't think it'll be enough.
Yeah, Gabe Davis actually gets his one catch for the month.
Yeah.
Goes
It is
for
a new
like
month.
8 yards. He gets a Demaryius Thomas touchdown.
Oh, and then the Rams. I agree. Rams line. Well, who do you put as your anchor for Sunday night then? Because your Saturday night game
You put Chiefs in Miami Sunday or Monday night, and you put Rams Lions Sunday Monday night. Who cares about Saturday night? It's on Peacock only. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you want
you
like
still need to find a way to draw people in, and I would have done Cowboys probably.
well,
Sure,
yeah,
fuck
there
it.
you go. You have Cowboys Packers, 2 fan bases that'll follow. So yeah, move that one. Who cares if it's a blowout? Cowboys fans will tune in. Cowboys
game's gonna
fans,
suck, too.
the whole state of Texas just signed up for fucking Peacock.
The whole state of Texas just signed up for Peacock.
You're welcome, Peacock.
I mean,
Welcome,
seriously.
NBC.
but
There you go. You don't
realistically,
have to worry about
the whole
no
state
one-
of Texas
no one's
got a
subscribing
1 week
to
free
watch.
trial.
We'll take 15% of your profits right now.
Right, tax free, isn't? Yeah, Texas is tax free. Yeah. Duh. There you go. That's your Saturday night. You solved it, Nick. I was trying to think of the other game. Packers Cowboys Saturday night. Peacock. You have the whole state of Wisconsin tuning in, and all of Texas, and nobody else gives a fuck.
There you
But
go.
Peacock gets its subscribers.
Yep. But the Comcast is trying to push the most people there as possible, so they
But the
chose.
check is spelled NICHOLAS. ARCHULETA. Just in case Peacock's listening, I'll take that check. 15% of your profits for that game.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's not a whole lot, I was gonna go for 12, but 15 sounded like a much rounder number.
It's actually it's an odd number. Actually, it's not a round number, but we'll take
it's also not prime.
There you go. I wish I had some Coach Prime.
You're right. It's not Prime because Prime was Thursday Night Football. I'll take the 11%, and it's the spelling's right there. ZANKER. Much easier. You don't have to remember or go back to what he said. It'll be on there the whole time.
Hey, do we have a victory formation?
Of course we do.
Okay, I was making sure before I started asking predictions.
I was going to stop you.
I figured you would, but I was like, I'll just ask because I'm going to go see. They're going to play. So I'm excited because they're going to do the listening party for the Green Day album coming out next week at Twist and Shout. That's at 1:00.
Oh, cool.
So I had to see what time football games were first because I love Green Day. We all know that. But I also have
the album's still going to be out.
Yeah, I already pre-ordered it, so
it's not going anywhere.
You're gonna listen to it.
I've already listened to most of it anyway.
I promise.
But
what is it? Twist and Shout on Colorado Boulevard, or like in Boulder?
No, on Colfax. It's
Colfax. That's right. That's the last one.
Yeah,
right.
Across from the east.
Yeah. I was trying to remember where it was at. I was like,
there used to be
Colorado. What?
I just got to find a place to park down there.
Good luck.
They're like noon.
Badge comes in handy sometimes. I'm not saying that
you never do that,
sir.
I'm not saying it's ever happened before. All right.
I'm
saying if I were to have a badge,
sir, could you move your car?
Find a place to park.
Police business.
Oh man. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the Nuggies, who are still having a little bit of a hard time when they travel to Utah. I don't know what kind of vortex is going on over there. But I don't know. Utah just shows up for that game.
Yeah, they balled out.
They shut him down.
Oh, dude, yeah. Lauri Markkanen is making his case to be traded to Oklahoma City.
Here he goes again.
Like Jordan Clarkson is balling out. Like they're about to blow that team up even more because Danny Ainge loves those picks so much, and they have a shit ton for the next few years, and they want to be the next OKC, and they know they can get so much more for those guys. They found themselves a star in Lauri Markkanen. Like for a while he was untouchable, but the rumors are now that he is the opposite. He's very touchable.
I was going to actually ask if Markkanen goes to the Thunder. Are the Thunder literally the most underrated team in the NBA?
No, they'll be much higher rated. People will put them up like.
Do you think? Because I don't think Markkanen gets the amount of respect he should.
He gets no credit.
Oh, dude, he gets. I think in like actual basketball circles, like, I don't know. I watch a lot of the JJ Redick content, and they talk a lot about quality players. And he's not like a huge defensive guy, but they have Chet for that. Like a lineup of Chet, Lauri Markkanen, Jalen Williams, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then either Josh Giddey, Isaiah Joe, Lou Dort, any very high quality role player for whatever the fuck you want to do. You're set. Like that team is deep, and you got Kenrich Williams off the bench. Like that's a scary team right there. Like it will put them up there with the Nuggets and the Clippers and the Timberwolves.
But I'm saying they would be like the most overlooked team. They would kind of be a lot like the Nuggets were.
I think people would pick them though. I don't think they'd be quite like the Nuggets because the Nuggets got so much hate from so many people from the MVP talk. The Thunder are kind of like darlings, seeing them put it all together with like SGA is a fucking MVP candidate this year. Like he might, I think Embiid's probably going to take it. But then again, with the participation rules, Embiid might he can't miss like 6 or 7 more games, I feel like, and he's ineligible because he's having one of the best seasons ever. Like he didn't deserve it last year, but if he had the season he's having this year last year, he would deserve it. He's playing out of his mind. He at least a few weeks ago, I don't know if it's still true, he was averaging more points than minutes.
I remember hearing that. I don't know if it's.
And he's still a great defender.
Actually, I'm pretty
that.
sure it's not because I think he had 2 down games.
I'm sure he probably did. That probably has been gone. But yeah, like this would be the year that he really would have deserved it. And so it's kind of just bullshit that it sucks Jokic couldn't get the 3-peat, and then Embiid ends up having the best year of his career the next year anyway. So he would have fucking got it. Didn't have to give him the charity MVP anyway. Fuck everyone. But yeah, no, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be up there competing with Jokic if Embiid sits out too many games, for sure. Like that OKC team is already talked about as like kind of a sleeper, kind of like what the Kings were talked about last year. They bring in a guy like Markkanen, or the Kings bring in somebody who can help them defend. Like that'll elevate those kind of teams to like, holy shit, watch out kind of caliber.
How about this? The Oklahoma City Thunder get really good, become a contender, and they move back to Seattle.
Yes.
I would
Here's Seattle. We made you a championship team.
And the sad thing is,
this time.
I would love that.
Don't fuck it up.
Because well, Seattle's going to get an expansion team, and so they're going to be. It's going to be tough for them to win for a while. Because I think that's what the NBA wants to do is expand to 32 or something. And I think bringing back the Supersonics is like pretty high on their priority list of like that's a market they want to be in. And I don't know how happy they are with Howard Schultz for just kind of moving out of there, especially with how rabid that fan base gets. Like with the Kraken, obviously the Seahawks. We're all tired of Seahawks fans over here.
Dude, their soccer fans are unbelievable too.
I bet. Those people are crazy.
Well, dude.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You've worked those games. They pack that whole like opposing fans section, and they're loud. They're
legit, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. They have.
They have a good
They have a great. I mean, Seattle, for being as weird, as quirky as it is, whatever you want to say, their fan base for sports is pretty unbelievable. I mean, I know you've seen the battered bastards of baseball, Nick.
Mm-hmm. That's a good. Good show.
Movie docu, whatever. Yeah.
That.
But they were rabid over that baseball team that was strung together like washed up guys that they all loved and ended up being really good and selling the most tickets. Like the Seattle fan base is it's not talked about enough.
I think part of it too is because of their location is so out of the way that they have to commit to who they have with them around them, because the next closest teams professionally are either Vancouver or Oakland.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I mean, there's semi-pro and there's some minor league teams in between, but in all reality, if you're not a Seattle fan, you're a Vancouver fan or you're an Oakland fan.
Yeah. Or you don't follow sports. You just drink coffee and cry all day.
Do heroin. Yeah.
Listen to Nirvana.
And listen to some grunge.
Yeah. I just want to sing like
you know what? Like, hey, I'm sure Seattle would sing. I'm sure after Oklahoma City got Markkanen, they would say, "Hey," Seattle would be like, "Come as you are."
Oh yeah. Like soaked in bleach.
It was our plan the whole time. We wanted Oklahoma City to spend all the money, and then we were going to be good.
I love this. Yeah. Sadly, though, it'll be a fun experiment when they get an expansion team and they'll get a whole bunch of middling players, and they'll kind of be like what the Brooklyn Nets are this year, with just like a whole bunch of solid, good players that's going to get bounced in the first round. They got swept last year. I don't expect them to not get swept again this year by maybe even Philly again.
Or I was going to say, or if they they could not make it too.
Oh, for sure. That's very possible. But the playoffs are going to be nuts this year. There's way too many good teams in the NBA, and it's kind of awesome. And especially with the trade deadline coming up, there's going to be a lot of little things. And I might have been wrong at the beginning of the season. The Nuggets might not make a depth trade like I thought they would. They might just stick with their core, because Peyton Watson's proved that he can play at the 4 for time,
Yeah.
And that's the position they needed to fill, was that Jeff Green position, because they've got Christian Brown still, and Reggie Jackson is being a diet Bruce Brown. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
He's still like throwing up those ridiculous prayer shots that he should not do, but they fucking go in sometimes, and it's awesome. And he's still very efficient with the ball most of the time. And like he's filling that role perfectly. So Peyton Watson stepping up to kind of the Jeff Green power forward bench type guy, like you've got pretty much the same core as last year, and you could just run it back with this. So yeah, you might not see anything.
I mean, I hate having to correct you again, but it's Peyton Swatson.
You're right. You're right. Absolutely, Peyton Swatson.
But my one fear is that he is looking good right now. But when is that Christian Braun moment going to come like did last year, where all of a sudden he's sitting on the bench for an extended amount of time? Like, because Malone is going to do that to him at some point. To
like
send whatever message he wants to send. There was no reason last year. We were all asking. Everyone was asking, why is Christian sitting down?
Yeah.
So there's no reason to think that he's not going to do that with Peyton at some point. How is he going to respond to that? Like, I think you're right that the Nuggets have found it. But I worry about his response to having something like that happen. If it's going to be positive like Christian had, or if he's going to go down the Bones Highland path. And I'm not saying he is like Bones Highland. Do not take that like that. But I just hope he chooses the Christian Braun path, because he saw what happened last year when you stick with it and you continue to do what coach says. But I fully expect him to get sat down for an extended amount of time and not get many minutes, because that's just what Malone does.
There's a method to his madness, and I mean, we can wonder and debate and question all we want, but I mean, it works. It gets your cancer out of your locker room. It gets these kids to prove that they do want to be here and that they are fully aware of their talents and how they need to, no matter what, be at the top of their game. It works. I'm not going to argue it. So, guess what, boys?
What?
We had a captain sighting on the ice yesterday.
I seen it. I mean, it's because you guys sent it to me, but still, I seen it.
Yeah.
It's very good to see him out on the ice. I mean, you can tell he's trying to get his ice legs back. He started out a little slow, but I mean, most of us would start out slow. I would definitely be slow.
Probably wouldn't even be able to start.
No. Push me! Push me!
I need the push start like the old manual cars.
Yeah.
The nice part about this is that it's good to have him get out on the ice and see him wanting to get back. I've already mentioned it. I'm a little fearful that this is a Forsberg-like situation. I know Forsberg was a heel. So it worries me, because I've been through this. We've been through this.
Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt.
And so, there's that fear there. But at least it's not like last year where he gets out on the ice and we're hopeful of seeing him come back. This is just, okay, he's progressing.
Yeah.
We don't know how it is, but we know there's progression. So, and the question isn't how soon can he get out on the ice? How soon will he be back out there helping this team? The question is, okay, cool, good. It's not a question. He's making progress. All right, awesome.
Exactly. It's
we still have months until next season.
Yeah, next year at the earliest. Which is okay, cool. Things are happening. It's moving in the right direction. He hasn't re-aggravated stuff. It's kind of like what if you weren't an asshole. What Aaron Rodgers' rehab would have looked like. Where it wasn't constantly, look, he's throwing. Look, he's doing this. Look, he can step on his Achilles again.
Oh, it's Monday Night Football. I better get out there and throw a football and do some running drills.
Now.
He's getting the Jets to the playoffs right now. It's going to happen tomorrow, guys. All they need is Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Landeskog did it at the youth ice rink.
Yeah, exactly. He's being, authentic about it. He's being totally genuine, and that's really all we can hope for, because we kind of expected it. It's Landy. He's not going to be all flashy about it.
Well, I think it was a little bit of a reality slap too, because I think he thought he was going to be able to get out there much quicker than what everybody was telling him to. We're
last year. You mean?
Sports. Yeah. We've all played sports, and most sports thing is to get out there because you don't want to lose your spot. Nobody's going to take your spot, so don't worry about it. Number two, it's you want to rush because you just want to be back out there. You love playing the game. And so I think last year was a little bit of a reality check that, yeah, you are an elite athlete and you are one of the best ever to play this game, but your body still controls what you can and can't do. You can't force it to heal quicker.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a tough lesson, especially when he had to go back and get another surgery, and it was just it was a very difficult way for him to realize that he just needs to sit his ass down and wait.
Yeah.
You know, probably the Avs losing in the first round was a bit of a blessing in that case, because I think it did show the value of having a guy like Landeskog on this team, but also it gave Landeskog the freedom to say, instead of having the guys wait this year for him to come back, which it felt like we were all doing, waiting for him to come back last year.
Yeah.
It gave him the freedom to say, hey guys, this season is your season. I'm not coming back. You guys figure it out. Work with what you have. Don't plan on me being there. Like, this is your guys' year. And so that kind of freedom, the Avs, I don't know if you guys had a chance to read through that Avs article that I sent you.
I got a little busy at work, so I didn't have a chance to do it. And I forgot
So
about it.
the Avs have had one of the easiest schedules through the first half of the season, which is basically where we're at right now. The second half of the season, they have the most difficult schedule, with the most teams set to record 100 points, and they have a road-heavy schedule. So this is where, like, those rookie mistakes, good thing, hopefully a lot of them got out of the way, but also we see where the Avs make moves to improve this roster this year.
Yeah.
And at the same time, with that talk of Landeskog, you also know that you can make moves this year that might not be moves for future years. So you have Sakic and McFarland have to play that balancing act of whoever they
one-year deal,
not giving away too much, because you do have Landeskog coming back next year.
Yeah,
most likely.
Yeah.
So you still want some guys that are there to back up, but you can give away some players this year, knowing also that you have Landeskog coming back next year.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't have to worry too much either, because you can get that guy on that 1-year rental to get you to the postseason again, to fill that hole. And depending on who you get rid of, it can be an option to keep them or not, i.e. Kadri.
Yeah.
If he fits in, that's great. If he doesn't, okay, good luck to somebody else. Go take your money and run. You earned it. But I don't know. Obviously, backup goaltending is one of the places they need to fill a void. The defense is shaky, and we still talk about it. That second line center.
Yeah. I still remember when we went over the lines. You're like, "Wait, who's the second line?" Oh yeah, we do need one. Okay, Sydney, slide right in. There you go.
I think I'm just so used to. I'm so used to, like Nichushkin or one of those guys being that second line center that you just, when you said it, I was like, it's
Miles Wood or whatever. Yeah.
Never mind. I was wrong.
Oh,
it's not that good.
It's a guy. He's in the Hall of Guys.
it's somebody.
Colin, you ready to have some fun?
Hey, Colin.
This is the victory formation.
All right, boys, here we go. Best play in football. 6 right tight diamond victory on 1. Break.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
The Pick'em segment, proving that Colin Zanker is the most humble man in the history of time. Least. Featuring Nick Archuleta, wishing he was somebody else. And Joe Goodwin, just kind of winging it.
I had to put my chef's hat back on because things are getting hot this weekend, even though they might be below freezing in Kansas City and Buffalo. I cooked up some phenomenal picks for us this weekend. It's obviously going to be
getting
all the
here.
NFL games.
Is it just the playoffs?
It's just all the playoff games.
Yeah.
I didn't cook anything up, but we are.
He spent a lot of effort microwaving these.
Microwaved it, yeah.
We got all the games on the slate that we're picking, and some really weird ones. I know that you might try. I might try and get talked out of some stuff. We're talking things, and I'll probably
be really all Chef Mike. It wasn't Chef Colin. Chef Mike is microwave.
I'll be called an idiot at least once in this segment, I'm sure.
Good. I wouldn't have any other way.
So we kick things off with Cleveland favorites going to Houston and the Nico Strouds. Cleveland minus 135, Houston plus 114 underdogs at home. Nick, who are you taking? Are you wacko for Flacco?
I knew you were gonna throw Joe Flacco in there somewhere. You know what?
Now he doesn't want to take Cleveland.
I don't. I hate. I don't know. I just can't stand Cleveland. But you know what? I'm gonna throw my. This is the one. This is my surprise win right here.
He's taking Houston.
I'm gonna take Houston.
Nick's got Houston. Joe, who you got?
I bet $50 on him to go to the Super Bowl. I'm taking Cleveland.
Joe has Cleveland. I have Houston also. This is not as big of an upset as you might think. Once again, it's only minus 135 to plus 114. We move on to the frozen tundra of the central United States in Kansas City. Miami underdogs at plus 190. Heading into KC and negative 30 degrees, approximate 30 to 30, negative 30 to 35 at kickoff with wind chill. I will say this, those betting, all the games every single game that has started the game at negative degrees, none of them has ever reached the over-under that is hit today. The highest scoring game was 39, and this game is when I bought it was at 44 points over under. I think it's down to 43 and a half. But if you're betting on an over under, you take the under in this game because no game has gone over 39 points ever when it started this cold. So this isn't an over under talk, but so I'm over talking about the over unders. Joe, who you got?
I'm taking Kansas City. I just feel I trust them more in a playoff setting, in a snowy setting, especially if there's going to be wind. That's going to cause problems because Tua doesn't have a super strong arm. He's still very good at those quick routes, and those quick underneath passes to Tyreek and to Waddle will be the best way to go in their passing game. Devon A-Chain's very fast and can break runs off, but Kansas City finds ways to do it with fucking anybody, whether it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Isaiah Pacheco or whoever's going to be the actual bruising running back. They've got Juice McKinnon. I just feel like even with them dropping balls, because the Dolphins probably will too, it's cold and shitty out there. So I just trust Kansas City just a little bit more. And this looks like it's sad that it's not going to be in Miami because that would be just a high-flying slugfest. Yes. That would be tons of fun. So it's kind of blue ballsy to get in the snow like this, but it's also kind of poetic and hilarious, and it's very NFL playoffs, so I'll take it.
I don't like it, but the Miami Dolphins, Tua has never won a game that has started below 40 degrees, and that trend continues because Isaiah Pacheco will just go ahead and be the snowplow as he plods along and beats up. He when he runs, he stomps at the ground like he's angry at the grass. And so he's just going to clear his own path to the end zone. It will be a very run-heavy game, but also the loss of Bradley Chubb for the Dolphins hurts here. And as much as it hurts, I had taken the Dolphins on some other stuff. Everything's going against Miami, so they're probably going to win this game, but that's why I'm picking KC. Nick, who you got?
You guys have pretty much said it. For me, it's not that I don't trust Kansas City. I just can't put my faith in Miami because they haven't been able to win on the road. They're starting to really show their true colors. They had a little bit of a weak schedule at the beginning. Now they're starting to show where their holes are. They've had to battle injuries the last few weeks. I don't trust Miami to really show up. I forgot to send it to you guys. I sent a GIF the other day. And it was Miami walking out of the hotel or walking out of the airport in Kansas City, and it was that scene in Cool Runnings where they're all walking towards the door. John Candy walks outside, and the other four guys just stand out there, stand and stare at the door.
Sanga, what you smoking, man?
Like I said, I don't trust Miami. I don't trust Kansas City either, but Kansas City will have enough to get the job done.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. Well, oh man, with how terrible of a season Kansas City has had, they're still going to win a playoff game. It's unbelievable. Yeah. It's really unbelievable. Sometimes you get lucky. Well, we move on to, I guess, the most unlucky people in the United States who live way in the Northeast. Pittsburgh, the biggest underdogs at plus 380 of the weekend, up against Buffalo, minus 500 favorites in a game that is now 34.5 over under. Tell me, guys, why I should pick the Bills, because I am going the Steelers to upset the Bills.
Damn you.
Know why?
Tell me why.
Because the Buffalo Bills will, for some reason, think they can pass the ball all damn day and not use James Cook, who they've been using the last few weeks and been winning games. And Sean McDermott will do something stupid like that, and the Pittsburgh Steelers will show up to this game ready to go.
Steelers think the Buffalo Watt.
Okay. Doesn't matter if they're not going to be running the ball.
Well, TJ Watt's a good pass rusher too, though.
Yeah, though Josh Allen will just kind of have plenty of time back there to just not throw to Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, either. to throw in completions. So there you go.
No, it really kind of is more of a toss-up than people think.
In an ugly game like this, I'm the idiot taking the Steelers. Nick, who you got?
You're not, actually, because I was thinking Pittsburgh too. This is Tomlin's, like, for whatever reason, this is Tomlin's one weird win where he goes and we all know he shouldn't win this game, but somehow, some way, they back into a win somehow.
And are you talking yourself into it? Are you taking him?
No, I already.
No,
he already was.
I already had it written down. Look.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, that's funny.
Before Colin started talking, because I was like, I don't know. Pittsburgh can back their way into a win, and I think they're just going to be too overly confident in that the lake effect snow. Pittsburgh's going to surprise some people, I think.
Oh my! Joe, are you the only smart one out of us this week?
I mean, it sounds kind of funny to just make this game pointless and just take Pittsburgh also.
So we can all lose our $10.
Exactly. Or we all win the same amount. And it doesn't matter because we'll all get the fucking bonus. That sounds kind of funny. Because I kind of was thinking the same thing. Buffalo feels like the team that's going to fuck it up. They're going to fumble the bag somehow. You're right. What they'll do is they'll do a quarterback draw to Josh Allen, and he'll like tweak his or he'll get a concussion and he'll have to leave the game even though he's actually relatively fine. But obviously he won't be able to finish the game. So like it won't be a serious like season ending kind of injury. It'll just be he needed to, take some time away from hitting his head for a while or some crazy shit like that. Like it's really not that far outside the realm. Mason Rudolph has kind of been on fire. Like he's almost like too dumb to realize how good he's played and like what not to do and just kind of just going,
So are you taking Pittsburgh or Buffalo? I don't know where you're going.
I'm thinking about it because I kind of want to take Pittsburgh, but Buffalo's just a good team. They're at home too with their home fans. Yeah, fuck it. I'll stick with Buffalo.
All right. Well, yeah. Just remember, Rudolph does great in the snow. I don't know about the wind, but
that's true.
Snow.
He's going to lead that sled. Let me tell you.
Moving on, we have the Packers plus 260 visiting the Dallas Cowboys. big favorites at minus 325, second largest spread of the weekend. Nick, who you got?
I want to pick the Packers, but they didn't really quite turn it on, and I don't know how much gas they have left in the tank. They're still trying to figure their way through things, and I think this will probably be the one win the Cowboys will have in the postseason to appease their fans before they choke like the Cowboys always do.
Cowboys go Cowboys.
I think I'm gonna go Dallas just because they're gonna tease their fans.
All right, Joe, who you got?
I mean, speaking of teams that might just totally fuck everything up, we have the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think this one's as close because I feel like the Packers are just too top heavy. Like if one of those receivers and Aaron Jones don't have a great game, I don't know what they do. And their defense is a bunch of like solid players, but nobody that great. The Cowboys should win this. So I guess I'll pick them. But fuck, it doesn't feel great either.
It doesn't, does it?
Yeah.
Well, I personally like them top heavy, so give me the Packers in this game. And Mike McCarthy getting his playoffs spoiled again, losing
By
to his
old
former team, who sent him on his way out of Dallas because Jerry is going to be looking for a new glory hole after this loss. Give me the Packers beating the Cowboys in this game because it would be just like the Cowboys to fuck up a home playoff game that they should win easily. Send it. We move we're on to Detroit. The St. Louis. The Los Angeles Rams at plus 136 underdogs visiting the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford heading back home. Lions minus 162 favorites. Matthew Stafford going back home. Jared Goff against his old team. Lots of storylines. Joe, who you got?
I mean, it's another tough one. But
that's why I picked it.
That's what, yeah. Just good job, Colin. Good job picking all of these games yourself. Just handpicked by choosing all of them. Just like a big ass handful. So that Lions Rams, right?
Lions Rams, yes.
Taking Lions.
I feel like the loss of Sam Laporta is going to hurt the Lions in this game. The Rams have been on fire as of late, and Matthew Stafford will show he wants to show up in Detroit in a big way. So I think Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp have big games, especially against a Lions secondary that's kind of suspect. Give me the Rams and Matthew Stafford coming home to spoil the party at his former home. Nick, who you got?
This is the first playoff game in Ford Field. It's going to be a big time sellout. Those Lion fans are going to pack that place.
Bunch of sellouts.
And
fucking sellouts.
You know what? Detroit has worked too hard to lose in the first round. I'm going to go with Detroit.
It's a tough game to choose.
It is, but I like what the Lions are doing right now.
And we move on to the final game of the weekend, that thrilling Monday night standalone game. The Philadelphia Eagles, who have lost four of their last five, I think, or maybe five of their last six, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are also one peg leg limping into the playoffs as Baker Mayfield didn't hurt his arm. He hurt his leg, but he should be on track to play. Some of these games have been really difficult, and this one I find the most difficult because it is like Philadelphia. They were in the Super Bowl last year. They should be the easy favorites in this game, but they have not looked good as of late. And then you have the damn Buccaneers who won 9-0 against a hopeless Carolina Panthers team last week that actually should have had a touchdown if it wasn't for a stupid guy jumping and fumbling into the end zone.
That stupid guy.
Good job, DJ. A big part of me just says take the Eagles because it's the Eagles, but I'm taking Tampa Bay. I'm taking Tampa Bay. The Eagles have been so bad. Nick, who you got?
I mean, you pulled everything out. Tampa Bay could barely squeak by.
That's why I don't have any
Carolina.
kids.
And I mean, Jalen Hurts is hurt.
Jalen Hurts.
Eagles have not lived up to their 11-6 record. They should have won the Eastern Division, and they're just on a steady downfall. So I'm gonna have to go with Baker Mayfield.
Oh my God, Baker Mayfield.
God damn it. Are you guys going to make me pick the fucking favorite again that I don't like?
Pick Tampa Bay. You don't have to pick.
Nobody says you have to pick.
Fuck you want.
No, you're right. But, it's such low hanging fruit.
It's okay.
But at the same time, I kind of feel the same way. Like, Tampa Bay kind of has a chance. Like, Rachaad White looks pretty good. The Eagles have a good front, but I don't know. He's pretty quick. Their pass defense is terrible. So as soon as they have to spread out more to stop the pass, Rachaad White can just tear them apart. Also, with catches out of the backfield, they've got those two receivers. They got good old Maker Bayfield. I mean, the Eagles definitely are more talented on paper. I feel like they have something to prove. But they also they lost their coordinators, and they don't feel like they have that same quality of input. Like, it's just Nick Sirianni, who's awesome, and he's a great leader, but like, I don't feel like they have that same kind of, I don't know, intelligence to the way they're playing this year. But fuck, that's right there. Again, it's at home in Philly. They're all going to be screaming horrible obscenities.
No, it's in Tampa Bay.
Oh, that's right. They're the division winner.
Tampa Bay won the division. Yes.
You're right. God, I hate it.
I know. This is a stupid ass game. Why is it on Monday Night Football all alone?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I'll still take Philly because if Baker Mayfield's hurt, that's going to be difficult for them. But fuck.
I literally thought you were going to go.
I want to talk myself into all of these, but like, it's just.
I will say one thing.
Yeah. Make
sure you get on your betting apps and you bet if it's still there. Chris Godwin, 4.5 receptions. It's at -110. He's been averaging over 5 receptions the last 6 games. Baker Mayfield has finally found him ever since he spoke out.
In the playoffs.
Put some money on Chris Godwin getting over 4.5 receptions, unless it's dropped to like just terrible odds. I put some money on it yesterday. Like, it is, there's nothing, you can't say anything as a slam dunk, but oh my God, Chris Godwin, 4.5 receptions over this fucking Philadelphia Eagles secondary all day. You talked about it, Joe, when you were talking about their secondary. So, side note, if you don't want to put a bet on this game like we just did, just put a bet on the player, Chris Godwin, because he'll get those receptions. I'd even trust Kyle Trask throwing him the damn ball 5 times.
How about Gardner Minshew?
Secondary, okay?
Yes.
So there's like my one lock guaranteed thing that I know for sure this weekend that I'm doing. So that means just like Victor Wembanyama, he's going to get 0.
It's not. It's guaranteed to fail.
Guaranteed to fail.
It's too big.
But when it succeeds, you'll hear about it.
Damn straight.
You'll hear about it here next week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, gentlemen, it's been a good Friday. Happy Friday to you guys. Those of you that work. Those of us that don't work are going to go heat up a burrito. And
I got to get back in the kitchen.
And Colin's going to put his chef hat back on because he's going to go cook like Russ.
But probably better.
No, that would be burnt.
For Colin's
this
sake,
point, it's overdone and dry.
I'm Nick Archuleta. This has been the Undrafted Uncensored. See you guys next week. Enjoy the playoffs. We love you all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.